welcome Megan Whilden.
Hello. My name is Megan and I work with the government. I'm the Director of Cultural Development for the City of Pittsfield, and I'm here to talk about something nobody knows about yet too much. And it's called Call Me Melville, and it's our big summer celebration running from Memorial Day to Columbus Day 2012. Why are we doing it? Because Herman Melville used to live right here in Pittsfield, and here's where he wrote Moby Dick, in this landlocked county. It's something to celebrate, but when I tell people about it, the first thing they say, oh, is it his anniversary? Is it his birthday? And I'm like, no, I've wanted to do this project for 10 years, and now seems like a great time to celebrate, and we're doing it in an offbeat way, so not having an official anniversary just makes it that much more fun, I think. So some of the things we're going to have: straw Ahabs, house theater, art in the streets, live music, talking benches, giant whale balloons, poems by the lake, art on the walls, stories on the piazza, film, mountain hikes, tattoos, an online book club, and more. And more is definitely the operating word here. We're doing it from Memorial Day weekend to Columbus Day weekend because that's 135 days. Moby Dick has 135 chapters, and we are going to collectively, I invite everyone to read Moby Dick a chapter a day throughout the whole festival online. We're going to have an online book club. By the way, that's an image from an artist who did a painting for every page in Moby Dick. And I don't even know how many pages there are. I guess it depends how you print it. But you'll be able to read along Moby Dick online through a website called Power Moby Dick that has the book chapter by chapter annotated, so you can click on a link. There's also an iPad app for it, and of course you can also choose the old-fashioned way with a book. We're going to have art shows galore. There'll be an opening show at Fair and Gallery, opening Memorial Day weekend, and one of the two artists is a descendant of Herman Melville that lives right here in the Berkshires. Rebecca Whilden. We'll also have shows at the Lipton Science Center for the Arts, Fair and Gallery, and Arrowhead, and we're interested in having more, so if you have some ideas. We're going to have theater everywhere. We're going to have theater in Arrowhead, in Herman Melville's house, in his yard, all over the place. I think we're trying to bring it into the nursing homes and other places. And this gentleman here does a one-man performance of Moby Dick. It's an Irish theater company that will be coming in Columbus Day weekend. We'll also have music. This gentleman, and I forgot his name, he's from Brooklyn. He has a band called Call Me Ishmael. He's written a song for every chapter in Moby Dick, so 135 songs. So we're trying to bring him up for the Word by Word Festival for a week-long residency so he can sing us every song, every chapter. We'll also have films, old and new. There is an amazing amount of films that have been made from Moby Dick, from Herman Melville's books, not just Moby Dick. This is the earliest one I know of. It's a silent movie called Sea Beast, and it's based on Moby Dick, and it stars John Barrymore, but there seems to be a lot more romance in it than there is in the book. We'll have art on the streets. Our annual Artscape public art installations downtown all have a Melville theme this year, so that will be coming out in late April and May. This is also a prototype for a giant whale puppet for possible use at different events. There's also a Melville trail that goes through the Berkshires, including Monument Mountain, which was a favorite place for Melville to hike, and that hike is recreated every year, I think right around August 1st, his birthday, and that's the view from it. And we'll be adding also a poem. We'll have surprises too, and I can't even tell you about the surprises because we don't know what they are. You know, if the cartoonist in the audience gets inspired, I would love to see what she has up her sleeve. But I just want to point out also that it isn't all about Moby Dick, because he wrote a lot of books when he was here, and of course throughout his life. And so we'll be focusing on the other books as well, but it is hard to avoid the big white whale in the room. And actually some of the Melville scholars believe it's his poetry where he really excelled. And he wrote poems about Pontusic Lake. He wrote a short story about the chimney in his house, and then someone painted it on the chimney, and you can still see it at Arrowhead. It's quite beautiful. He also wrote the Piazza Tales here in Pittsfield, and he had a beautiful piazza on the house. And we have someone who will be reading the Piazza Tale on the piazza during the festival. Benito Sereno is one of the short stories in Piazza Tales, and I have no idea what it's about. But one of my favorite stories that he's written is Bartleby the Scrivener, which is part of the Piazza Tales, and that's about the young man in the office who responded to everything that anyone ever asked him with, "I prefer not to." And I'm hoping to organize a Bartleby the Scrivener Day in Pittsfield where we can all reply to every request that way. And another of his famous books, I haven't read it either, which is one of the reasons why we're doing this festival, is Billy Budd, which looks like a fascinating book from those pictures. And it's also been made into a movie with Peter Ustinov. Then actually the last novel that he wrote here, his last major novel I just found out about recently, is called The Confidence Man. It actually all takes place on April Fool's Day, and it's about a whole gang of scoundrels, really, or maybe it's about one scoundrel, it's hard to tell, on a riverboat on April Fool's Day, so it's supposed to be very good. And someone described it as the first postmodern novel, but it was written 150 years ago. So other things we're planning on doing, a 1-minute Melville film contest. We're looking at a summer beer garden at Arrowhead, and Arrowhead's very excited about that, maybe with a little burlesque too. I don't think he would have objected to that. So all I can say is resistance is futile. Melville Mania is coming, just give up. If you've read Moby Dick before, you can read it again with us. If you haven't read it, this is the time, and the great thing is every day that new chapter will be up, and we can all go, "Oh my God, why is he going on about the whale?" So join us, won't you? There'll be more information coming out soon. You're getting the sneak peek, and do think about what you would like to do, and let me know. Thank you.